I asked him multiple times if I was his favorite.
Lies.
And he always confirmed. Tina's my witness. One of the saddest things that you can witness is watching your loved one work their life away. When it came to my dad, Don, that was simply not the case. His work was his passion, so getting up and going to work 7 days a week, rain, sleet, or snow was never a chore, a hassle, or an inconvenience. He simply loved what he did. His knowledge for plants and his constant furthering of his education of tree doctoring, plant health, and everything green always stood out in his work. Some of my youngest memories were of us kids going with him to work every day, after school, and the majority of every summer, driving across town to all of his customers, watching and helping him work. I remember him mowing all the Taylor gas stations in town, Based in Bell Bars, Jim Alfon's, Mike Morrison's, and of course I remember Nana and Nachos. One of his greatest projects I got to be a part of help build at the early stages was the Doc's Greenhouse, Mr. and Mrs. Hobson. What I still believe to this day is his pride and joy. I remember trips to the Rock Ranch, the wood chipping sites, the food bank, Tiffany Street, and so many jobs all over Amarillo, Canyon, Bishop Hills, and everywhere in between. To the people who got to know Don as an employee, whether it was their sprinkler guy, their gardener, their landscaper, or just the man they called when they have a problem, you cannot deny his endless knowledge, wisdom, and joy that poured out of Don if you ever had more than a 30-second conversation with him. To all of us, he was someone great. To some of us, he was a brother, a friend, a spouse, an uncle, a pool team player, a teacher, a listener, a guide, or a helping hand in more ways than one. But to me and my siblings, he was and always will be the greatest example of a father. He took on responsibilities and roles that were not his, and he made them his own. I'm living proof of that. The love and acceptance that he gave has paved the way and has guided me in how I am raising my children, and has taught me constantly that work hard every day, provide, and always show up and make memories. To the man that taught me how to fish, how to set up a tent, how to roll up a sleeping bed, how to push a lawnmower, how to use a shovel, how to shoot pool, how to cook an egg in a hole, and most importantly, how to get out there, get it, and how to be a provider. I owe you more than a thanks. Thank you for stepping up and being my dad as well. We all love you and appreciate you, everything that you have taught us. What I would not give for one more of your long, drawn-out stories that I used to hate when I was a kid. I hope we can all take time today and slow down, look around and acknowledge the small things that he always took the time to pay attention to. The dirt, the grass, the trees, the plants, and what a perfect place this is, because when I look around, I see Don.
Don saw him every single day. I think my dad talked on the phone with Don more than, I think if I called, he would have hung up. Don. Some of the things that I remember the most was Don used to take my brother and I, Ryan, on camping trips in the Rocky Mountains, sometime with my dad, sometime without, sometime with my uncle. And I remember the first time that we went, it was dark, and it was just Don, Kurt, and my brother and I. And they had made us dinner. Now, I had never before realized that mac and cheese was supposed to be crunchy. They just told me to keep on eating it, it was fine. But same thing, he took my brother one time camping, and he may or may not have lost my brother, and my brother may or may not have had to come back with one of the park rangers. But God has always been a constant in our lives. in my parents' life. He's my dad's best friend. And I just so appreciate that he's always been there for them, because my brother and I both, of course, moved away. But he's just been there for them. And for me, I can count on him for anything too. But I just wanted to know, and everyone to know how much we love and appreciate him and the life that he led and the life that he was able to share with us. And I don't know what my dad especially will do without him. But I loved him more than anything. Thank you.
Figured I better get up here or I'll be bawling too much to be able to read anything. Dawn, those of you who don't know me, I'm Tina, Dawn's sister. And Dawn, my brother, he's my friend and he's part of my soul. A person who I always admired, particularly as I got older and could appreciate the man he had become. A person who was always learning, growing, and sharing his knowledge with others. A person who truly had a heart of gold, giving to others even who meant he did without. A person who was an explorer at heart, whether exploring new countries, new cultures, new books, or new ways to do things. A person who loved and lived the outdoors and being surrounded by nature. Be it when backpacking the Pecos Wilderness for 3 months after graduating high school, with regular shorter trips for years to come. Be it choosing a career path, working outside, be it becoming a master gardener expert in his field. Be it working 7 days a week because he truly loved what he did, who found a calling at a very young age. Questioning our dad about why he, our dad, had to go to work to feed us and put a roof over our heads. Don was like, everything we need is right out the door. Why aren't we doing this? He did not understand that. And that was at a really young age, and that really, I think, is what set him on the path he ended on. Turns out I followed in some of Dawn's footsteps, be it my love of travel, visiting some of the same places as Dawn, not even meeting him. My interest in different cultures, my love of reading, my love of the outdoors, my love of camping and backpacking. Even discovering years later that we had backpacked and camped in some of the same Pecos Wilderness areas. Again, didn't know it, found out years later. We even shared a birthmark and some of the same personality traits. Fortunately for him, he did not share the same premature gray that Chris and I got. And neither he nor I shared the same hair loss gene that some of my brothers got. But we shared a lot. And I'm going to miss Dawn more than I can ever say. I miss my brother. I did good. Missed our long conversations in person and on the phone. Missed him showing me what new things he was growing or building. Missed his laughter, the twinkle in his eyes, and his bandanas. Gotta have the bandanas. Yes, I'm going to miss Dawn. He was a very special person, and I've had to call him my brother and my friend. And I know all of you are his friends too, because again, he never met a stranger, and he touched so many lives.
She said she wants a sister. Just a brat.
Nothing right there.
Or a brother. She said.
Dad has a friend, Phil Haas, who is not able to make it today. He is going to turn 92 this coming few weeks. And Phil is in Arizona, where he worked on the Biosphere 2. I had to Google what it was because I didn't know what it was, but it's pretty interesting if y'all want to look it up. Phil's going to Portugal and wishes he could be here to share his experience of celebrating for Dad. And this short saying that he wrote for him was, for some reason, when I first started on trying to say a few words about the life of Don Rael, what popped into my mind were the words I recalled from the Boy Scouts of American Law, which goes like this. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean. These were the ideas someone developed to help guide young boys as they grow into manhood, and accurate as they may be in describing Don Rael, whom we knew and loved. They can't encompass who he really was. A magnificent man, Don valued the working of both his human hands and the exercise of his mind. He never stopped learning about, contemplating about, and then transmitting to us the things which he found to be helpful for us, his fellow beings, as we extend, maintain, and improve upon those many pieces of what he saw as our experiment on earth. Don saw the glory of that earthly human experiment in which we all participate, each to a level of our own abilities. Y'all can correct me on some of the things I said. Before I go on to meeting